Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kramer. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Minnesota. If you are looking for a demonstrator and you go to search for me under Find a Demonstrator, I am actually Susan Kramer, spelled K-R-E-M-E-R, Susan the standard, regular Susan. There is another Sue Kramer who lives in Arizona, so don't get me confused with her. Or if you want to search by location, I live in Woodbury, Minnesota, and you can find me there, and there's a picture of me too. And I think that does say Susan Kramer. So if you're looking for me to be your demonstrator, it's Susan Kramer in Woodbury, Minnesota. Let's see. This is where you would go to shop, northstarstamper.stampinup.net. I do have my own personal blog, and that's what I call this one, northstarstamper.com. I am blogging at least weekly there. Fridays tends to be my blog day. And then on the 17th, I post a birthday card. On the 25th, I post a Christmas card. I will have new designer series paper for the 25th of this month. So I look forward to sharing that with you. I think that DSP, Designer Series paper, will be here on Wednesday. I got to pre-order it. Okay, let's see. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. So while we wait for more people to join, I want to talk about joining Stampin' Up! We have a special during the month of June. If you join the Stampin' Up! Family, specifically my team, the Polaris Stamping Team, I go Polaris because of North Star. Stampin' Up! Is giving everyone who joins during June an extra $30 of product in what we call your starter kit. And you get to decide what's in your kit. And it costs $99, and you would join my team. To maintain your demonstratorship, that's such a big word. If you want to keep being a demo is what I like to say. Your quarterly minimum is $300. And that can be your own sales or your friends or if you find customers. And what else? So if you join during June, I made my notes here. If you join during June, you don't have to meet that quarterly minimum till next quarter, which is July, August, September. And then if you don't meet that minimum of $300, you would go pending in October and you'd be dropped November 1st. But during that third quarter, in August, we have a pre-order for our mini catalog that comes out in September. So if you join now, you would get to pre-order at a discount from the new mini catalog. It's such an exciting time. It's the holiday catalog. And if you're like most of us, you do lots of crafting for the holidays. So that's my pitch for today. I would love to have you on my team. And I know I have a couple team members here already. So thank you for joining me. And we have a good time. We chat. I'm available to chat pretty much any day. And some of them I do chat with regularly. So hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Let me know where you're watching from. How's that? Or what your weather is. We had a little cooler day today. Okay, let's get busy. I want to try to make 2 cards today. So we are using annual catalogs, the only thing we have right now. If you have your catalog handy, we are using the Earthen Elegance suite, and it's on page 70 if you want to look that up. And I don't know if you've noticed, the name of the suite, in this case Earthen Elegance, is also the name of the designer series paper, DSP. They have changed the way they are naming stamps and dies, so the stamps and the coordinating dies have the same name. So in this case, it's the Earthen Textures stamp set and the Earthen Textures dies. So, and then if you buy them together, you get a 10% discount on that bundle is what we call it. So you can purchase the whole suite with one item number, and that's what I did. I love the suite. I have made quite a few cards. I have 1 card to show you, and like I said, we're going to make 2, hopefully 2 more today. I've already done some stamping and die cutting to speed the process along. So in buying the whole suite, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you always get a stamp set, designer series paper, plus 2 other items. The other item is either going to be a die set or a punch that coordinates with the stamp set. And then there's going to be, sorry, I may be out of camera. Nope, that was good. There'll be a fourth item. In this case, it's this trim. Sometimes it's designer series paper. Sometimes it's ribbon. I can't remember. I think those are the things in there. And I hesitate to show this to you because this natural wavy trim, like I said, I bought this right away when it was available. I don't think we could pre-order this. I think I had to wait till the catalog went live for everybody in May. I just opened it half an hour ago. This isn't available till July, so I'm sorry about that. If you want it, it is an annual catalog, so it'll be around till next spring. So they will get it back, and hopefully they'll buy a lot of it in July. Obviously, it's already sold out. And the dies also are not available till the end of July, but I know my customers are very patient and forgiving, so they'll just know that they'll have to wait and order that in August if they want the dies. The stamp set is available, and the designer series paper is available, and it's on sale. I forgot to even mention the sale. During June, some of the designer series paper, sorry, last commercial, and then we'll start stamping. So the designer series paper, starting on page 129, so these and these, this is the one we're using. I used this one 2 weeks ago. I used this one last week, if you missed those videos. These and these three, plus there's an online exclusive Hello Irresistible designer series paper. It's a 6x6 pack of paper. All of those packs of designer series paper are 15%, is that right? Yeah, 15% off during the month of June. So get your order in. They are all still available. I didn't see any of them that were on low inventory. So that's the good news. All right, so this paper, see, I have cut into one of each of the pieces. So it is a 12 by 12. Let's go through colors first. I've got a basket here of stuff I'm working with. So our colors in this paper are Copper Clay, Gray Granite, Misty Moonlight, Moody Mauve, Pebble Path, Pecan Pie, and Pretty Peacock. These four are in colors, which means they just came out in May, and we only have them, no, not that one. Oh, I guess just those three. The other one, wait, I'm missing Wild Wheat. Oh, well, I can't think right now. Wild Wheat. Anyway, these three are in colors, and so they just came out in May, and we have them for 2 years. These are all in the neutral. No, these three are in the neutrals, and that's a Regal that just returned. So these are the colors in the paper. Okay, let's look at the paper real quick. You can see the designer series paper online if you go to my store and look for patterned paper is what they call it. You will be able to see them. Just seeing them in person makes a big difference. This is pretty. It has all the colors in it, so you can mix and match. If you don't have those colors, I think brown or even black or gray would look perfectly well with this. Look at that. I would love to know how they made this paper. We have not been told, but the drippy, I imagine they had paint and they dripped it. So there's some Misty Moonlight, and that looks like a plant to me. So maybe cotton or something? I don't know. There's a Moody Mauve, and a Gray Granite, and Pebble Path on that side, and that looks like a piece of fabric that they took a picture of, and Pretty Peacock. There's some more Misty Moonlight. This one's been fun, it kind of, the gradation. And then if you follow me on social, you'll see that I've used this piece. And I didn't even realize that it had this ombre effect on this side of the paper. Because I only used this half on the card I posted on my socials. Alright, so that is the Earthen Elegance Designer Series paper that's on sale this month. So let me show you what I have. When I get a new stamp and die set, I like to use all the dies just to see what they do and how they coordinate with the stamps. So let's start with the stamps. You'll see that I got a smudge on this one, so eventually I will probably trim my stamp down, and so I don't have to think about that as much. I learned that I have to be very gentle and patient. Gentle, I guess, is the best word when I stamp this stamp, because I got a few smudges there. So, or I could use a smaller block. That might be another option. So you have stamps and then dies that coordinate just cutting out the stamp. You could fussy cut that if you don't have a machine, or if you don't want to pull your machine out for that. There are some fun ones on the back. This leaf, and is that a ginkgo? I don't think so. I don't know what this leaf is, but it is really fun. It's got these lines in it, and so you can give it a little more texture. And then they show this in the catalog as just coming out of one of the vases. I didn't use a new cutting plate when I die cut this one, and it's just texture, and I think it'll be nice if I use a flat plate. My plates aren't flat. It would emboss a little bit better. And then this one's really fun. This one especially, I'm reminding myself to use, and I should put a note here, to use an adhesive sheet when you cut this. It's kind of messy if you're not light-handed with your liquid glue. These two aren't too bad. I did all these with liquid glue, and it was all right. This handle piece is kind of fun. I haven't used it, but I did die cut one for us to use tonight. And so you can add handles to your jars. You could even cut this down and then use this for a sentiment. I don't have a piece for us to do that with tonight, but that's another idea for that. So those are the Earthen Textures stamps and dies. All right. And I have a card here, and I know, Amber, you often watch, so if Dan is with you, tell him to look away and don't look. This is going to be his Father's Day card. I'll get it in the mail tomorrow, so it's to him by Sunday. I think it needs some embellishment there, though. Anne, aren't you proud of me? I stamped on my designer series paper, and this circle piece was, honestly, it was a scrap. I had it in with my cardstock. I don't remember what I cut that out for, but I cut it out close enough to the center that when I could trim it down to get my layers. And then I have it cut down so you can see a little bit of the designer series paper all the way around, a little bit of gold twine, and that leaf. I don't know what, for lack of a better word. Let me clean up a little bit. I have so much stuff on my... Let's add, I think we need to add something. So I have rustic metallic adhesive back dots. Those would be okay. I have the polished metallic adhesive back dots. You can see I really like the gold ones. Instead, I think we're going to open these. These are the 23 to 25 in color dots. Oh, here. This, no, it's not going to tell me. You guys might be chatting amongst yourselves on what colors I'm missing. Oh, sorry. Anne says zoom in on it. Oh, and what did you want me to zoom in on? This leaf? I'm hoping that's what you were talking about. Let me know if that's not what you wanted to see. I think I have one of these cut already that we can play with. I'm going to add some dots here. Let's add 3 medium dots. And I can't decide. Let me think. If we want them here. I just think this side needs something more at the top. Maybe up at the top just to balance that. We'll do that. I changed my mind. We're going to use one of each size. So there's a medium. And a small. See if I can get that off. There we go. And a large. And using my take your pick tool, I can get them lined up just perfectly, and then I'm going to push them down. There. I think that just balances it a little better. Oh, Anne says in general to zoom in. I think I can just do this with my phone. There. Is that better? And then I'll move up. Let me know, Anne. Okay. So there is honestly, it was pretty quick and simple. Deciding on colors was the hardest thing. So that is one card. Next, we are going to do let's do this one next. I have a piece of Pebbled Path cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2 to make an A2 card with the top fold. I have a piece of Moody Mauve, I have my notes here, that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you know that 4 1/4 is just that wide. So this would make, good use of your cardstock. And then I have a piece of Designer Series paper that is 3 inches by 3 inches. So that's what that looks like. And I kind of took my colors right from the paper. I wanted to highlight those. And then I have die cut one of the vases out of a scrap of the Moody Mauve. And then I'm going to put that there. And here are the handles that I also die cut out of Moody Mauve. And we're going to attach that there. I'll turn it around in a minute. And then I just stamped and die cut some of the, that piece. Where's my stamp set? That's this one here. And I think I used Pebbled Path. I'm just sticking with the same colors. And then I have die cut one of these, and I want to say this is Blackberry Bliss. You probably saw this a while ago. And I'm going to put that in there. So I have a couple other ideas that we might try. I have some of the gold trim. I think this is the Simply Elegant trim. It comes in silver and gold together. It was a carryover from last annual catalog. So I thought about just adding some more texture to our, I think that'll be nice, to our card. So what I like to do when, where's my adhesive? There it is. I'm going to use tear and tape, if I can find the end. Let's move this out of the way. We're just going to work with this. I'm going to put 2 little pieces. I need to get moving if I'm going to make 2 cards and not keep you here too long. But I do appreciate you joining me, whether you are live or watching on the replay on Facebook. And I will put this on YouTube as well. I always say technology permitting, and knock on wood if you're what's the word out? Words aren't coming to me. That's pretty bad when I'm doing a video. There. Technology has cooperated, so they've all gone on to Facebook. So there, I've just put the adhesive on the back. I'm going to spread that out a little bit. There we go. Now to hold that in place, I'm going to take another piece of tear and tape. I've just used 3 little pieces, like, I don't know, an inch maybe? Alright. Uh-oh, it's not sticking. I'm going to need another piece there. One more piece. Don't want it to fall apart in the mail. I'm going to make this a sympathy card. Alright, let's put these pieces together. But before I adhere this and all my decoration on my paper, I'm going to stamp, because mention in the comments why I'm stamping before I adhere. I have a new stamp set called Hope You Know. This is in the annual catalog. A lot of nice sympathy words in there, but I wanted one that says with sympathy, and it isn't there. So I'm going to use Thinking of You from the Ringed with Nature. That's up here. This is also a carryover from last spring. I don't remember. Last fall, because there's. All right, I need a block. Did you guys comment? I'm stamping before I adhere. In case I don't stamp well, I can turn it over. All right, what color? Let's use our Pebbled Path. It's a nice dark color. Sometimes it looks gray. Sometimes it looks black. It's an interesting color. So I'm going to stamp that. That's good. I could have turned it over. That's why I'm stamping before. I was going to say something else. Oh, yes. It was a photopolymer, so I have my, a cushion of some sort. All right. Oh, my computer is not liking very much at all. So a little bit of liquid adhesive. Which way do we want it? It looks like it's dripping if it's the other way, so we're going to go this direction. And we're going to put this on with some dimensionals. Not the big ones, I need the minis. And I'm just going to put it right over the top of the... I'm going to leave those on. I don't think it'll harm anything. This will help me decide where. I do have the liners on there still, so it's not going to stick. I do want this on here too. Let's use some liquid glue on the base of this. Maybe. There we go. Oh, that is so cute. I'm just going to hold it for a second. I'll let you look at it. While I decide where this is going to go. Oh, yeah, this can go off the top, though. I'm going to put this down. Normally I center it, but I'm going to put it down a little bit because then my sprig there can go off the top. There. All right. So a little adhesive on here. Let me know if you think I need some more embellishments on here. Oh, wait, before I do that, we have to do this. I'm just jumping the gun. A little liquid glue. And put it down just a little. With the liquid, was a little crooked, so I could fix it real quick. Whoa, it stuck to my finger. Okay, this is going to go here, so I want this right there. Now, to put adhesive on this one, I'm going to use my reverse tweezers, and these are part of the embossing kit. And we'll see how I do here. There we go. Yeah, it's working. I say that, and then it stops coming out. Come on, there we go. And I've been told if you can see it, it's enough glue. There we go. I guess I should have put some on my mat. Oh well, that works. And then I'm going to see where that needs to go. I'm going to set that down and then release that, and then I tap it down. You can see I do have adhesive down here at the bottom, but that's okay. It's going to be covered by my base. Now I can take my liners off of my dimensionals. And center that. Oh, cute, cute, cute. Let's put that away. There we go. Do we think we need some of these jewels, these dots, in colored dots? What do you think? I'll give you a minute while I clean up a little. All right, my next card. So my question was, do we need... Deb says it's fine as it is. Thank you, Deb. We'll see if anybody else chimes in. So here I have a piece of gray granite cardstock. I'm going to use the Pebbled Path ink. And then I have the large vase. I wanted you to see what these look like. And the small vase. I don't know which one I'm using on this card yet. And then I would take this. Where's the other one? It's probably in here. Yep. I would take this to my die cut machine and zip, voila, where'd they go? Uh-oh, they're here somewhere. I have too many envelopes. I already die cut them. But you can see that the dies are a little smaller than, here, let me put this away. Oh, Mom says nothing is needed. Anne says 1 dot. We'll let one more person chime in. Like the pink one, Anne? The mauve? So when you use these dies on the stamps, you can see there's just ever so slightly, it leaves, not a ring, but it cuts just inside the stamped image. So there is no, I'll say white space, in this case gray granite, around it. So they die cut so cleanly. So I wanted you to see that. All right. All right, I have gray granite, and then I cut a piece of the Designer Series paper, the Earthen Elegance, and that is the Pretty Peacock. And that's the back side, the one that I said almost looks like a baseball, but stitches, but it's a fabric, I think, an eyelet. I don't know which one I'm using. And then I stamped and die cut these. And I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I think that's all I had planned. So oh no, that's not true. I had one more thing planned. I had die cut the X out of Designer Series paper. Can you see that? Maybe if I put it on here. I'll show you both sides. And in the catalog, they show this on the vase. If you put it down at the bottom of the tall vase, you can get a nice, you trim this here, it adds nice texture, but I think I want to put it here. We're going to evenly space them. These originally were die cut for that first card I showed you, and it just didn't quite look right, but I think it'll be a nice accent on here. And then I think I like the tall one, just for something different. Maybe just one. Oh, I think I like that better. Or do we want a smaller one? Maybe the small one, and then I'll stamp some words up there. Sorry, I should show you. You think that? Or do we want the taller one? I don't know. I think the flat side goes on the bottom. So it's just fun to play around. So I kind of call this a kit, because I just have all these stamps and dies and things to play with, and whatever I don't use will go in an envelope. And I already have some in here. I think I told you a couple weeks ago I use an old catalog. Oh, I do have one of these. And I just keep pieces in here. So here's that big die. So that's what it comes out. And that score line is in the middle of every leaf, and you can just bend it ever so slightly. Hopefully you can see. I'm putting my thumbnail in the score mark there, and it just makes a nice. I think it would flatten if you mail it, but we could put that in there too. Oh, maybe just that. I don't know. So many choices. I'll see if you guys have had any suggestions live. And if you're watching on the replay, sorry I didn't get to hear what you wanted. Let me turn it. I kind of like that, but I really want words on here. Nope, I changed my mind. I like that. We're not going to use these. So these, I can put in my envelope. Oh, Deb said shorter. Ann says 1 dot. Mom said nothing needed. So, okay. All right, I'll go with you, Deb. I really do like to put words on the front of my cards. And I like to tie in my colors there. Okay, we're going to do that. Thank you, Deb. Excuse me. And we are going to use Pretty Peacock. And I think I'm going to use that same Thinking of You. When I did that craft show last October, somebody asked about my sympathy cards that I offered, and she really wanted words inside, because she, like me, has a hard time thinking of words to put inside. So I'm going to put Thinking of You on the outside, and then I made a couple sympathy cards earlier today, and I'm going to put this on the inside. It says, "May you find peace in the days to come and in the loving thoughts that surround you now." I thought that was kind of nice. Okay, so let's start with the Thinking of You. Be gentle and lift. Perfect. And then on the inside, where did my stamp go? It's hiding under everything on my table. So again, Pretty Peacock. I just want to add some more of that color. Oh, not too bad. Not perfect, but it'll do. You'll be able to read it. Oh, one more thing. I do like to use our Angel Policy stamp on my cards. This one says handcrafted from the heart. And then the trademark of Stampin' Up on there. Alright, let's put this away before I get Pretty Peacock ink everywhere. And we can put this together. So I'm going to use liquid adhesive on it as a service paper. So what did we decide about a dot on my first card? We had somebody wanted one dot. This piece is 5.5, so I know it's going to be just right. And it's liquid glue, so I can adjust it ever so slightly. A little long. Don't know how that happened. There we go. Give it a quick trim. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers on these. You know what? We're going to do it. And let's see if I can find my mat. I have a big mess here. There we go. So I'm going to put some liquid glue on my acrylic mat. I'm just going to use my take your pick tool. No, that one didn't grab enough. So I'm using a stylus. There's one just like this in the Simply Scored scoring tool. And I want the gray on the front. So I'm going to use my stylus and add adhesive. Just kind of brushing it on. And there's just enough on the stylus tip. So you could dot it. I do like, that's a bit much. Kind of brushing it on. Alright, and then I'm going to center this. Let's see here. I'm going to hold it and then pull this away. And that's not quite centered. Good enough. Because if I move it, I'm going to have adhesive everywhere. So let's do that 2 more times. Real quick. I don't think I need that much adhesive on here. So if I do the ends in the middle, I think that'll be enough. And again, I'm going to line them up as best I can, even though it's not centered. And last one, I do have an adhesive eraser. We used to sell them, but I found them at the dollar store. Of course, now it's at the $1.25 store. I will show you that in a second because I'm going to need it. Alright, last one. And hold it with my thumb while I release. I'm not used to these tweezers yet. There we go. Get this out of the way. Just kind of pat those down because I know I had adhesive everywhere. After it dries, I will use, where'd it go? This is my adhesive eraser. And sometimes I dab it, and sometimes you use it like an eraser. So it depends how much adhesive I have. But it has to be dry, otherwise I think I would mess up my designer series paper. This is wide enough to use just some liquid glue. Oh, got a little carried away there. And just for placement, I want to see where this is going to be. Down towards the bottom. There we go. Let's put this on dimensionals. Where'd they go? And there's some big ones on here. How are we doing on time? Oh, a little after 8. That's all right. I did show you 3 colors. And I talked about the joining special quite a bit. So I hope somebody will join my team. It's so fun. We have a good time. I have team meetings once a month, and they're online because my team is all over the country. Oh, that was the other thing I didn't mention is you have to be in the U.S. to join my team. I know I have a couple viewers from elsewhere. So my team meetings are always online. We either use Zoom or a Facebook room, but we can accommodate whoever. And I also stamp with other demonstrators once a month. My team meetings are the 3rd Wednesday. My stamping with other demos is the 1st Wednesday, but again, that can change if we need to change that. So what did we decide about the dot? Anne says, I was voted out. No dots. Beautiful as it is. All right. I will use these on something else. These go with the daisy paper, so that's why I had them. So there are our 3 cards today. And what else? I was looking for my... Oh, here. If you'd like to become a demonstrator, I'd love to have you on my team. So that's my spiel for the day. Oh, let's move these around a little bit. This dark one needs an inner layer, doesn't it? And let's see. Any questions? I think we're good. Thanks for joining me. Happy stamping. Have a great week. Don't forget about the pattern paper, designer series paper sale, the month of June, and the joining special, an extra $30 when you join during the month of June as well. Have a great week, everybody, and I take requests if there's something you want to see next week. What is next week? I will be live next week, so let me know. I think I have the Le Shop designer series paper that I haven't shown you yet, so I don't know if my stamps and dies will be in by next Monday. I think they will be, so maybe we'll use that next week. Unless you have a suggestion or if there's a technique you want to see, we can fit that in too. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.